Hello everyone, in this video, I'll be translating and summarizing the latest Urdu broadcast by Moeed Pirzada to make it accessible for our English-speaking audience. Let's go through the key developments and insights in Moeed Pirzada's words. For the past several hours here in Washington especially, there was a lot of speculation that the President of the United States, Donald Trump, who had been missing from the media's sight for almost a day, was returning to the Oval Office and was about to make some very important announcement related to the defense of America. The speculation was so intense that it felt like a declaration of war against Russia and China might be made. But the announcement made from the Oval Office is that the United States Space Command, whose functions we don't fully understand, will be shifted from its headquarters in Colorado to Alabama in the south. This issue is above our level of understanding and does not fit into our usual narratives. It largely seems related to American domestic politics. In any case, this is a major news development for the United States in the past few hours. Now, turning to Pakistan, the most important development in the entire region relates to the floods, earthquakes and tremors. News is coming from India, Pakistan's Punjab, Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and Afghanistan about the human suffering. In India, the loss of life is not very high, but I believe around 50 to 100 deaths have occurred due to floods and rains. In Pakistan, the loss of life is between 800 to 1,000. In Afghanistan, more than 1,400 deaths have been reported due to the earthquake, and over 3,000 people are injured. The death toll is steadily climbing. I will come back to these details later. For now, I want to tell you that when Imran Khan met Barrister Gauhar at Adiala jail, the issues he focused on were the floods in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and Punjab in Pakistan, and the situation in Afghanistan. However, I will share more details on this later because an unexpected interruption occurred. Suddenly, all major newspapers in India, both print and online, flashed the headline that Pakistan's army chief, General Asim Munir, had met Chinese President Xi Jinping in China. When I checked the news in Pakistan regarding this meeting, I was, very surprised that, although Indian newspapers were giving this top headline coverage, no Pakistani newspaper had this as a lead story or headline, not even 2 or 3 hours ago, and still none when I last checked. I took many screenshots to show this because Indian newspapers were full of this news and its significance analysis, but Pakistani newspapers had no mention of it. This in itself is a news story. Why is that so? Meanwhile, Pakistan's Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif and Foreign Minister had left for the SCO summit, likely on August 30th. We have been following the news continuously. There was no mention anywhere that the army chief would also attend. You might expect it because there is a military parade on September 3rd in China called the Victory Parade, and the Pakistan Army chief was going to attend. But the news that he met President Xi Jinping was not there in Pakistani sources. Looking at this whole situation and the reaction of Indian newspapers and the silence on the Pakistani side, it is clear that this was not a properly planned or scheduled event. This meeting was pushed hard by Pakistan's GHQ and General Asim Munir's team. I will try to show you the photo opportunity picture that we got from Indian newspapers. Looking at this photo, President Xi Jinping looks serious, standing in the middle. On one side is Pakistan's Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif, on the other side is Foreign Minister Ishaq Dar, and in a corner, standing solemnly, is Pakistan's Army Chief, General Asim Munir. If you look closely, it feels like this meeting was forced. This was not an event planned by Chinese leadership. Now, about the significance of this meeting, Pakistan's Foreign Minister and Prime Minister have briefed the media that strategic, regional and developmental issues were discussed. Only God knows what was actually discussed there. My understanding is that this was mainly a photo opportunity designed to send a message to the world, especially Pakistan's politics, media, judiciary and most importantly the Pakistan Army, that General Asim Munir is in demand from east to west, from the east to the west. He wants to convey that when he goes to America, he meets the American president. He came to China and met President Xi Jinping. Soon you might see columns speculating about joint Chinese-Pakistani plans for Mars, but so far nothing concrete has come out. This message comes at a time when Dr. Shahbaz Sharif is running his calendar like clockwork, and his calendar notes that General Asim Munir has only 88 days left before retirement or extension. What does this tell us? It suggests that General Asim Munir needs some kind of extension, and PR is being done for him to generate optics. It's a strange coincidence of history that an army officer who was supposed to retire in 2022 instead became the army chief. And now he wants to remain in that position as long as the sun, moon and stars exist. This is the development. And I'm sure tomorrow morning you will see a lot of choreographed analysis in Pakistani media which will come from some Jack brand source. But as of now, no analysis has appeared in Pakistan. Now, moving to the flood situation, millions of people have been displaced just in Pakistan because of this flood. At least 800 to 1,000 deaths have occurred. Sindh's chief minister is continuously tweeting that the floodwaters could reach Sukur Barrage and Gudu Barrage anytime. According to his tweets, out of 1.3 million cusecs of water released by India, about 1.1 to 1.2 million cusecs are now reaching Pakistan after 500,000 cusecs passed earlier. The important point here is the narrative that India deliberately released this water. This phrase is used as if India had stored water and planned to release it to cause harm. Unfortunately, the bad politics between the two countries always tries to send such messages. Meanwhile, in Indian media, the situation of Shahbaz Sharif standing there in a photo with Putin and Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi has been heavily criticized. When Shahbaz Sharif tried to meet Putin and shook hands with him, Indian media portrayed it with excessive negativity. There was also a photo where Shahbaz Sharif sat with Putin and apparently told Putin that Pakistan has an independent relationship with Russia, separate from Russia's close ties with India. Similarly, Pakistani media is also trying to angle the flood narrative as if India has a role in causing it. Meanwhile, in Punjab, social media is full of reports about Mariam Nawaz, the Queen of Punjab, who is apparently doing media antics and PR exercises related to the floods, gathering flood victims, boats, children, making short videos for publicity. Even deputy commissioners are fighting floods through TikTok videos, which shows a lack of seriousness and maturity in handling the disaster. As I mentioned earlier, in Afghanistan, more than 1,400 deaths are confirmed, 3,000 people injured, and the figures are rising fast. No international aid has reached Afghanistan except some from Britain and India, which donated tents and about £1 million to the United Nations. UN operations in Afghanistan are seriously hampered. Pakistan, Iran, China, the European Union and possibly Turkey have pledged aid, but Pakistan itself is struggling with its own problems. According to international analysis, since US aid operations were stopped and Donald Trump's government adopted an attitude of non-involvement in global crises, general aid operations are not as robust as they used to be. In Pakistan, a TV anchor named Shifa Yusuf went to Buner and made a video showing how the floods have destroyed the region, leaving it like the Stone Age, everything washed away and ruined. Reuters published an interesting analysis about why Afghanistan experiences so many earthquakes. According to the report, in the 125 years since the early 1900s, there have been over 100 major earthquakes in Afghanistan, causing hundreds to thousands of deaths. The last big earthquake in 2022 caused over 1,000 deaths. Reuters explains that the reason is the tectonic activity where three major tectonic plates meet near Afghanistan, the Indian Plate, the Eurasian Plate, and the Arabian Plate. These plates constantly collide and push against each other, causing earthquakes. The report suggests two important things. First, accurate mapping of dangerous zones is necessary so that people don't build homes or settlements in those risky areas. Second, such mapping has never been done by any Afghan government. Given Afghanistan's civil wars and instability over the last 50 to 70 years and the late arrival of technology, nobody had the chance or resources to think about such planning. If there is afforestation happening, it is happening in China. Actually, the largest forest area in the world is in Russia. There are a lot of forests in America, there are a lot of forests in Canada. Surprisingly, despite all the modern degradation that has happened to forests in India, still 21 to 25% of traditional forests remain in India. Around 3% of the forests are over canals, roads and highways. But in Pakistan, forests cover only 5%. Even in that 5%, most of the forests are in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, and it was there that Imran Khan tried more reforestation. These forests protect you from floods. This point was shared by Alima, as she told. And then she said that Imran Khan is saddened by the earthquake in Afghanistan. He said, "It is very unfortunate, painful and a tragedy that we have pushed Afghans out of our country repeatedly. It wasn't only Pakistan that pushed them out. Iran has also done similar things in recent months. Many of these people live under open skies in tents, and they are currently also victims of the earthquake." Then Imran Khan said that the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa government should openly take a position against the military operation. There are already flood destructions, and the KP government should openly oppose this military operation, whether it is in the form of drone strikes or anything else. This is Imran Khan's position as conveyed through him. Now there's an interesting point here, which I want to explain why it is, well, quite intriguing. Alima strongly emphasized that Imran Khan's health is perfectly fine. Barrister Gohar mentioned he is high-spirited. I was, very happy to meet him. Alima insists he is absolutely fine. When I met him before too, he was perfectly okay. The slight problem in his eyes was because he reads a lot of books. His phone number has changed, and he probably met the doctor, and his number changed. Why such emphasis? Actually, what happened is that in the last 24 to 48 hours, in 36 hours, a prominent Pakistani Safi named Matiullah Jan did a podcast or weekly show in which he said he has news that Imran Khan's health is not good, that he is quite fragile, cannot think properly, has memory loss and things like that. Alima asked, "Who plants such news?" She said no agency has given Matiullah Jan such information, and it's absolutely false. Imran Khan's health is indeed perfectly fine. Imran Khan's family is very emphatic that his health is completely fine and that he is not in any danger. Meanwhile, in Pakistan, the tradition has been that political people like Nawaz Sharif, Asif Ali Zardari, Shahbaz Sharif and others, their families or their political supporters always claimed their health was very poor and circulated such images. Some people think Imran Khan should have done the same as a way to get a hospital transfer from jail. I feel those people ignore that when Asif Ali Zardari, Shahbaz Sharif and the rest were building these stories, there was some understanding with their jailers. The jailers, whoever they were, created these narratives as part of their strategy. Because people are very naive, both the jailers and the jailed know they have to fool people. People always say they are smart, but I haven't seen that much wisdom. So that was the story. Here, Imran Khan's family suspects that the news given to journalists about Imran Khan's poor health is a ploy, a step-by-step narrative, so that if something happens to Imran Khan's life or health suddenly, it can be said that he had been sick for weeks or months, had memory loss, and it was a disease issue. Whenever Alima refutes this, as she did very strongly today, and Barrister Gohar also refuted it, Alima mentioned that they told Barrister Gohar to confirm that Imran Khan was perfectly fine. As Alima is his sister, this fear and concern regarding Imran Khan is understandable. Another interesting point that Alima made openly is regarding Imran Khan's sons. They were asked about the British government visa on a British passport. She said they did not hide anything. The British government advised that if they need consular access in Pakistan, or if there is danger, then they should come with a visa on a British passport. Someone said that ministers say they will do something, so what did they do? In this country, when someone is arrested and jailed, nothing needs to be done to them. Anything can be done. Therefore, it is important that they come with a visa on a British passport. Barrister Gohar talked about floods, the earthquake and Afghanistan. When asked if Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf PTI would resign from the National Assembly or Senate, he said no such plan exists at this stage. He said they resigned from a committee, but after political and parliamentary committee support, Imran Khan remains the leader. There is no disagreement on this. When asked if he meets invisible people, those unseen influencers, he said if he has met such people, it was with Imran Khan's permission as part of a political strategy. Imran Khan is his leader, and all the cases against Imran Khan and his family are political cases, not legal. They can only be resolved by political negotiation. Now, coming back to the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, or SCO, General Asim Munir sent a strong message to Pakistan's army and politics that, well, he is needed everywhere from east to west, and his meetings are ongoing. On September 3rd, there will be a victory military parade at the SCO, showing that Russia and China want to demonstrate to the world that in World War II not only America and its allies defeated fascist powers Germany and Japan, but Russia and China also played a big role. Russia's role is, honestly, unquestionable, as it broke the back of Nazi Germany. But Western historians say nationalist China under Chiang Kai-shek fought Japan more than communist China. Taiwan accuses China of spending $5 billion on this victory celebration, which they say is illegitimate. Taiwan says only 2% of China's defense spending is involved. The parade will have important leaders including Pakistan's army chief Shahbaz Sharif and many global leaders. Indonesia's President Prabowo Subianto couldn't attend due to student protests at home. Some Pakistanis commented that if Indonesians can protest for their rights, why can't Pakistanis? I think this comparison is wrong because Indonesians are more oppressed. In the 1960s, Sukarno's left-leaning government was overthrown by a US-backed military coup, accusing leftists and communists of attacking the military leadership. Generals and brigadiers were killed, and General Suharto ruled from 1964 to 1998, during which, many human rights abuses happened, causing worldwide resistance. Now, General Prabowo Subianto is militarizing Indonesia heavily, setting up 100 military units for agriculture and livestock, not military training but total militarization of society. He is very cruel, and opposition is minimal so far. Ambassador Yalmay Khalilzad tweeted about the SCO summit, accusing China's Xi Jinping of global hegemony and warning India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi not to get trapped in China's warm embrace. There is speculation in India and the US about India-China relations. India's Ministry of External Affairs controls foreign relations, not any single individual, and Prime Minister Modi's thinking is very clear. India has enormous leverage globally and maintains a clear foreign policy to never side exclusively with anyone. That's why Shahbaz Sharif, Asim Munir and others are attending China's military parade. But Prime Minister Modi is not attending to avoid the impression that India is too close to China. An interesting example is about a Reuters story published in Pakistan's Dawn newspaper. The CEO of Nestlé's International Food Division was forced out because a romantic affair with a subordinate became public. This doesn't mean such relationships are a big problem in Europe. The issue is abusing power. If you have an affair with a subordinate whose future and salary you control, that's abusing your executive position. Many powerful people in Pakistan are known to have affairs with subordinate women, both in media and civil bureaucracy, as well as in the military and politics. But this angle is rarely discussed. Lastly, I want to mention two small developments related to the Pakistani-American community. Two NGOs, Pakistan Global, led by Dr. Usman and Community Alliance for Democracy, led by Mehalka Samdani, have worked to introduce amendments to the National Defense Authorization Act in the US Congress. These amendments will make military education and training to Pakistan conditional upon certification by the Secretary of State and Secretary of Defense that no human rights abuses or military trials of civilians are happening in Pakistan. This is an important amendment, and the Trump administration would try hard to block it. They ask people to email the Rules Committee to support this effort. That wraps up our translation of Moeed Pirzada's video. I hope this English version helped you understand his message better. Please like, share and subscribe to Awami Lens to help our community grow. Don't forget to leave a comment below and let me know what you thought of this effort.